We are going to be doing a lot of discussion forums this year, so I wanted to take a moment and tell you what that's going to look like and what the expectations are. Firstly, you want to make sure that you are prepared. It's important that you have done the reading and that you are ready to discuss it before coming up with a discussion question. Next, you want to make sure that you are fulfilling all of the requirements of the assignment. So sometimes you'll be asked to bring in extra information or to write a certain number of questions or responses. So make sure that you look at that before doing the activity. When writing your question, first think about if there's anything you actually have a question or are curious about in the book. Those make great questions because maybe other people have interpreted it differently or have seen something that you haven't. Otherwise, I would look online to see what other people are saying about that section of the book. But remember, if you use any ideas from anyone other than yourself, you need to cite it using MLA citation. Also, make sure that your question asks for more than a yes or no response. So don't ask, is Romeo truly in love with Juliet? Instead, you should ask something like, where in the text do we see Romeo showing or talking about his love for Juliet? By reading it, do we believe him or not, and why? You want to make sure that your question is as specific as possible so that they have something good to work off of, but also so that they need their book to answer the question. So it's really hard to respond to someone's question if their question isn't thought-provoking. When you're answering someone's question, shoot for 3 to 10 sentences and make sure that you're using specific quotes or page numbers or things from the book. So you're not just stating your opinion, you are providing evidence. You want to make sure that when you're responding back to comments on your question that you're addressing the person and you're staying formal and polite. So if you disagree with them, you should not be attacking them as a person. You should not be calling them stupid or things like that. Just share why you feel differently and then offer support for why you feel that way. This is not a place for criticizing others or attacking them. We need to make sure that we are civil and that we are having a productive discussion. There will inevitably be things that you guys disagree on, but we can't let these discussions disintegrate into chaos. You need to be polite and thoughtful of others. So an example of what not to do. So our question, do you think Romeo loves Juliet? Not specific enough, not thought-provoking enough. Answer, nope, he's just trying to get in her pants. There's no evidence presented here. Maybe you believe that to be true, but you need to have formulated sentences that back that point up. And then the response here is rude, and we don't want to be saying things that are rude. We want to make sure that we're being polite. So they say, dude, you're so stupid. Of course he loves her. Just because you have never had a girlfriend, don't hate on him. You're such a loser. So with our good example, our question is, where in the text do we see Romeo showing or talking about his love for Juliet? By reading it, do we believe him or not, and why? And then the answer is, I do believe that Romeo thinks he is in love, because in Act 2, Scene 2, he says, I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I will be new baptized. Henceforth I will never be called Romeo. He is willing to change for her and do anything for her. It's enough to know that she loves him. Nothing else in the world matters. Not their parents, not their history. It's just the two of them. He is a new person. So we have the evidence backing up what they're saying, and they're responding to the question. And then the constructive response that we have is, John, I appreciate the passage that you have cited because it's the same passage that makes me wonder if he really does love her. He spends multiple pages praising her looks. Her eyes in heaven would throw the airy region stream, shine so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. But is that love? He is infatuated with her. He thinks she's beautiful, but does he really love her? So that is the kind of exchange that we want to have. A thought-provoking question, a answer that has some facts to back it up, and then responses back to those thoughts that are also constructive and show reference to the text.